What businesses do you remember visiting?
I remember a restaurant and tavern. My father organized teenage jazz orchestra, and we played in this tavern. There was quite a few of us. It was full-size jazz orchestra.
What do you remember of these businesses?
Do you mind if I just any memories
Oh, I patronized the restaurants, and they were good places. They were our places to go. They gave us some.
Well, they've always had the barber shop, the Hickory Pit Barbecue is here. Let's see, around the corner. Oh, the East Side Liquor Store was down here. That was one of the favorites. Water and Hole.
If you want to know anything about where these businesses were located, she had mentioned earlier that her father had one of the businesses here, but she didn't know how many businesses that her father owned, but I think it was at least 3, because there were 2 in that area there, and then we had a Ted Snack Shop. I guess you have it here listed in your flyer. And then, of course, there was another restaurant that was up there that was run by her father. And what is your name again?
Pam.
Pam. Okay, and this is Ted's granddaughter. Okay, and this is the picture that you're featuring here on the flyer. Who is Pam? Who is this?
My mom.
This is your mom. Okay, so that is some history. She got some history here, as well as some. Well, I can go back and remember as far back, I would say, probably in the 40s. I can remember. So it would go back that far. On that corner over there, put your camera over there, my man. We had what we call the Rainbow. That was a nightclub. That was a nightclub where back then we had bands in there that would play, and you would have people who were white who would come across University Avenue, and they then would frequent that place because there you had an area in terms of where people could come and intermingle and to reminisce, to talk shop, and just really socially associate with one another in terms of black and white integrating in an area where it was acceptable, okay? And generally that was where there was music, and particularly the kind of music that was being played was popular music as well as jazz. Next to it on the corner, you had Tinsley's Cleaners, okay? And right above that, you had the Masonic Lodge that was located there, right? Further down where you got that legal building over there, right next to it, you had McDowell's Barbershop. A young man in this community was named Speedy McDowell. We went to school with him, and his dad would cut our hair, okay? Now, most of the people who would frequent him as a barber would be whites who were coming across University Avenue to come get their hair done. Knew him very well, and of course they would get their hair cut there too. So it was still like it was integrated, even though it was primarily located in the black community. Next to that, McDowell's on the other side of that alley, that was East Side Liquor Store. Well, they sold liquor there, and naturally the drink was Thunderbird, Silver Satin, all right, and gin and juice. I'm just saying what the drink of the day was, when people would frequent that. Plus they had other liquor too, as well. So you'd find people coming from the campus would come over, and they would buy liquor from that liquor store, East Side Liquor Store. And then, other than that, further down on the corner was just residents. People just lived there. Back up in here, you had the Community Advocacy Depot. You can put it to the right. You had what we call Knits and Pants. That was a group of young folks who came together to sell clothes. All right. And next to that, you had the NYDD. That was a Neighborhood Youth Design Depot, and that was a youth organization that printed a paper, and they kept the community informed, the African American community informed, as to what was going on here here in the African American community as related to the social activity that was going on, religious activity that was going on. Kept people informed about the different gangs, what was going on, and then also any activity that was going on as far as politics, what was going on in government, and what was going on that yard. You know what we call the yard?
No.
Well, the yard is called the University of Illinois.
Okay.
All right, that's the yard. And that's what is referred to as to what was going on in terms of blacks in the African American community, as well as blacks who were coming down here to go to school at the University of Illinois.
Okay, there was a tavern down here I didn't visit. I was too young, but there was a record shop I used to visit. And then my father and my brothers, they visited, they were regulars at the barber shop. And when we got our hair done, we'd come down here to get our hair done, press and curl. And there was a cleaners down here. We went to the cleaners.
There was a Tinsley's Cleaners. It was a cleaners right on the corner. And then there was Freddie's Barbershop, and that's where we used to get our hair cut. And then there was Holt's. It was, like I said, kind of like a little cafe where you get food and candy and ice cream. And then there was Tommy's Barbershop, which is just further up the street. And then they also had a record shop right next door to it. And then they had some cafes. There was a clothing store called Knits and Pants that was just further south up the street. And so those are the businesses that I remember just off the top of my head.
Well, I get my hair done right there.
Side.
Yeah. What's that called? It's not
Is that Locks of Glory?
It's Locks of Glory.
Oh, okay. I'm right next door.
Yeah, so they do a good straightening and curl. Okay. They don't have a perm anymore. Yeah, and I can't really, nowhere else, kind of young, so I was too young to have hung out back in First Street's heyday.
Yeah.
But in the 2000s.
Oh, you know what, Jackson? Oh my God, yeah. I'm lying like we weren't over here.
Exactly.
I know to remember those days.
And running
we
from
were
the
just
fights.
exactly. Yeah, we do. Oh, I just lie. I don't care.
Yes.
Stacy remembers a time with Jackson.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I remember.
Great catfish.
Yes, I do remember the catfish. I remember getting ribs from there. It was the only place that when I was trying to Google and find things when I was new to the community, that was the only place that I knew of and that people had told me about. So good food there. But at night, as well, certain nights, they would have kind of like a club atmosphere where people in the community came to kind of hang out. And I think it got to be too many people one particular night, and then we all had to run.
Oh no.
Run as things kind of got heated. And that was the only place that I knew about coming from south suburbs of Chicago, a place for black people to get together. And I get my hair done now at the beauty shop right next door to that.
Well, not necessarily the bank. I've been to the barber shop. I've been to Jackson's. I've been to Land of Lincoln. So I remember when Land of Lincoln first came up, actually. So I guess that's a new experience.
What do you remember of these businesses?
Just that they were, a barber shop is, and beauty salon is traditionally just a place where people come together, they get their hair done and cosmetics, but at the same time, it's just a great time for people to come together and laugh and talk and joke. And I know Land of Lincoln helps, people with, that can't afford legal services.